As a lifelong salesman, I've had a lot of sales jobs in my life. I've sold everything from vacations to cell phones to foreclosure listings, furniture, magazine ads, cruises, you name it, I've sold it. Much like most lifelong salesmen, I've had a few stints selling cars. I've sold both new cars and used cars. Now, new car sales has its challenges, but by and large, it's fairly straightforward and doesn't come with too much red tape. Customer sees a car he wants, gets financed, drives off the lot. Now, selling used cars is an entirely different ballgame. There are different concerns. Customers who go to high-end car lots are worried about paying too much. Customers who go to used car lots are worried about the car breaking down a mile and a half down the road. High-end car lot customers aren't worried about the reliability of the cars. They're brand new. It's not going to give you any trouble. They're concerned with the interest rate. They're concerned with getting price gouged. Used car customers are worried about the car breaking down and credit. If people had good credit, they'd go to high-end car lots if they didn't have the cash to buy a car outright. But if they don't have enough to get the title and they have bad credit, they have to go to a used car lot where the credit standards are a little more relaxed. Sometimes you have car lots that even finance you regardless of credit. Why? Because they put a GPS on your car and then they jack up the interest rate. These are your buy here, pay here lots. Anyway, something that happened to me twice when I sold used cars is I'd have a customer come in and tell me they have bad credit. So of course I'm giving them all the lines. Don't worry, Mr. Customer, we've got you covered. We're going to find a bank to finance you. We're going to put you in a car today if it's the last thing we do. So they are all excited because they're going to get a new car, right? Or so I thought. Before I tell you guys the rest of that story, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this content if you think my work is important. You also need to get your hands on my free ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. My ebook will make it virtually impossible for bad girls to get over on you by making you think they're good girls, which immediately separates you from most men out there. And getting my free ebook is almost too easy. Just go to donovansharpe.com/newsletter, plug in your very best email, the book is yours. I would also like to announce that Season 1 of One-on-One with Donovan Sharpe will air live this Saturday afternoon. And my very first guest is Myron Gaines. Myron and I will be in studio together discussing girls, game, lifestyle, and of course fitness. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer on the air, call 702-919-7197 and record your question or comment. We will listen to and answer the very best this Saturday. Okay, let me finish telling you about what would happen when people with bad credit came to my car lot in hopes of getting financed and how this relates to women. So I'd run their credit, and again, this happened to me twice before I caught on. But I'd run their credit and their FICO score would be somewhere in the neighborhood of, 650, which isn't the best credit score, but it's not terrible. More importantly, it's the kind of score that would allow a customer to go to a high-end car lot and finance a brand new car. So I'd tell the customer, great news, your credit is actually pretty good. You're going to be able to finance any car on the lot you want. Now, the first time I told the customer they had better credit than they thought, they were ecstatic. They got excited, started looking around at the cars and everything, but I didn't make the sale, and at the time, I had no idea why. I thought to myself, well, the guy had decent credit. He didn't think he could get approved for financing, so why didn't he buy a car? The second time this happened to me, it was the same thing. Oh, I have bad credit, Donovan, but I need a new car. And I'd run the guy's credit, and once again, his credit score was in the mid-600s. Again, the kind of score that could get a customer finance at a high-end car lot for a brand new car. So again, I tell the guy, hey, great news, you've got pretty good credit. But this time, the guy's wife said to him right in front of me, well, why don't we just go to Toyota then? Now, I was quick on my feet and said, well, because they're going to charge you a higher interest rate, which means a higher car payment. And the guy starts nodding and says, yeah, we don't want a high car payment. But I could see in his face he was full of it. And I was right, because they told me that they'd go home and think about it, and I never saw them again. What those two experiences taught me was that if a person thought they had bad credit, let them continue to think that even if they don't. Now, of course, you can't get away with that these days, because people can get their credit scores on their phones in 15 seconds or less. But back then, it wasn't like that. Customers had to take our word for it that they were either approved or that they weren't. But from then on, if a customer came in and told me they had bad credit, I'd continue to make them think they did, even if I found out their credit score was a 680. Why? Because the minute a customer knows that they have more car buying options, they will never buy from you. They couldn't care less if their interest rate is 6 points higher at a high-end lot. They're getting a brand new car, when less than 24 hours ago, they weren't sure that they could even buy a used junk bucket. Women are exactly the same as car customers, gentlemen. A woman's value is dictated solely by the way men respond to and treat them. If most men a woman interacts with treats her favorably, meaning they give her compliments, they're nice to her, they do favors for her, they look at her, they give her attention, and make it clear through their actions that they would commit to her, then she knows she's got options, or good credit. Well, the less credit or value a woman has in the way of looks, personality, and overall femininity, the more she'll have to compromise when it comes to men. Hot girls get to hook up with, date, and marry the very best guys out there. They get to be with the best looking, the richest, the most talented, highest value men out there. Not so attractive women get the leftovers, the used cars of the dating world, if you will. And they're generally okay with it because they know they don't have as much value to men as high value girls. They'll moan and groan about it on social media. They'll talk a bunch of noise about how men are shallow and how we only care about looks and about how men should compromise their standards to appease the fat, ugly women of the world. But they know the score. They know how the world works. Anyway, to bring it back around here, a huge mistake that guys are making with their women is the same mistake I was making with customers who had better credit than they thought. The same mistake that thirsty dudes make when gassing up fat, ugly chicks. And that is showering their women with compliments and approval, telling her she's beautiful all the time, telling her how much he loves her every day, constantly telling her how smart she is, how great she is, and so forth. And the same thing that happened to me on that used car lot is going to happen to them in their relationships, and here's how. At some point, if a girl hears all of these glowing remarks about herself long enough, eventually she is going to subconsciously think to herself, you know, I think I can do better. If I can impress Steve this much, then I could easily get with Kevin, the hot sales guy at work. I mean, I always knew I was a catch, but maybe I've been selling myself short and settling for less than I deserve. I think I'm going to explore my options and see what else is out there for me, and I'm going to start with Kevin in sales. I may even swing by Dave's garage band practice to see if he's interested. This is what happens when you blow sunshine up your woman's you-know-what all the time. She starts to believe all of your hyperbolic narrative about her. She hears and sees it so much, she internalizes it, and ultimately, she truly believes it. Let me ask you guys this. Ever seen a 5 who acts like a 10 and you think to yourself, why does she act like she's hot? She's got hair on her second chin and a lazy eye. Who the hell does she think she is? Well, she's got a boyfriend who showers her with love and attention and validation and compliments 24/7, like all the Facebook memes tell him to do in order to keep her happy and have a great relationship. But he is doing quite literally the opposite. He is filling her head so full of crap that she really does think she's hot stuff who could have any guy she wants, and it won't be long before she steps out on him. Now, let's be clear here. Nobody is suggesting that you never compliment your woman. Women do need validation. Your woman needs your approval. They need to know when they're doing it right. And if you withhold your praise when your woman clearly deserves it, she's only going to tolerate that for so long, especially pretty girls. A girl needs to know that her man is pleased with her when and if she deserves it. And you are the judge of that, not her. She wants your approval, not her own. Look, she can talk all the noise she wants about what a great catch she is and have 150 thirsty dudes agree with her, but none of that means anything to her. What she wants and needs is your approval. She needs validation from you. But by the same token, you have to be fair, guys. Don't be unreasonable. If she looks good, tell her she looks good. If you're appreciative of what she does for you, let her know. But giving her residual approval for something she only does one time is counterproductive. Telling her she's hot every day because she dressed up 3 months ago isn't helping either one of you. Telling her she's an unbelievable cook because she made you a 7-course meal a year ago is going to make her lazy. She'll stop trying because you are giving her validation without her earning it again. You are giving her attention she does not deserve, and at some point, human nature is going to kick in and she's going to put in a lot less effort for something she knows she can get for free, which is why she doesn't make an effort to look good for you anymore and laughs when you ask her what she's cooking you for dinner tonight. If your woman has a disrespectful tone, look her in the eye and say, watch your tone. If your woman makes you an awesome steak dinner, say, damn, you came through with this steak tonight. Then maybe smack her on the butt. You must reward the good and discipline the bad at all times, which is exactly what we're discussing now. But most importantly, do not shower her with compliments for mediocre effort. If she does something she's supposed to be doing anyway, every once in a while, show a little appreciation for it, but don't make a big production out of it. You don't want your woman expecting you to sing her praises for remembering to stop and grab you some bottled water. Every so often, just say, thanks, appreciate it, and leave it at that. Gentlemen, do not tell your woman she has awesome credit if she's giving 570 FICO score effort. If she's acting right, let her know. If she gets out of line, put her back in line. But do not tell her she's the greatest woman who ever graced the face of the earth all day, every day, because at some point, she will go to the Toyota dealership. So we've established that rewarding your woman for little to no effort on her part is detrimental to your relationship. On the other side of that coin, consistently correcting bad behavior is even more important. And there is one rule you must abide by at all times. And gentlemen, this is probably the most important thing you will ever hear when it comes to dealing with women. And I am not exaggerating here, because knowing and abiding by this one rule will literally mean the difference between your successes and your failures with women. Unfortunately, this rule is not even close to being safe for YouTube. So if you want to hear the rest of what it takes to keep your woman in line with proper discipline, become a patron now at patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Aside from getting access to the rest of this information, you will also get access to an ocean of content not found anywhere. Hundreds of archived episodes, audio podcast versions of my daily stream without all the small talk, my dating show breakdowns like Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiancé, and Love After Lockup. My weekend webinars and much more will be at your fingertips. Plus, you get sneak previews of tomorrow's episodes today. Get your hands on tens of thousands of hours of life-changing content and watch my daily live stream at patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. The link is in the description.